Okay, it's Phil Lee returning with another episode of Civil War Chat. Today is March 1st, 2022, and today's topic is fighting for America. Although no American troops are directly involved in the Ukraine war, its occurrence underscores how Joe Biden's weaknesses may cause all of us to examine America's military preparedness in the near future. Biden's Afghanistan debacle last August probably emboldened Russian President Putin into the action he has now taken in the Ukraine. If Putin does take the Ukraine, America may face another challenge before long, a military challenge that may require Biden to commit American troops. He just can't keep retreating and doing nothing. One possibility could be a communist Chinese attempt to take Taiwan. Whatever this new venture might be, the blue state elites may not realize that the red states have been providing a disproportionately large share of the soldiers. In fact, the South accounts for about 45% of our volunteer forces, even though the region represents just 36% of our population. So what I'd like to do is to share a screen that kind of shows this here. Let me get this up. Okay, there it is. I think you can see that. The states in the lower right, the Georgia, Florida, South Carolina, in almost black color, those are contributing about 30 to 50% more soldiers per capita than the national average. Now, the states in the dark red, which are mostly in the South and in the mountainous region, they are contributing anywhere from 10% to 30% more soldiers per capita than the average in the nation. Those in pink, both the light pink and the dark pink, are below the national average, and they're primarily concentrated in the Midwest and the Northeast. The ones that are just ordinary red, those are the states that are contributing an average amount. Now, those in the pink and the dark pink, they typically have large urban areas, and they're clearly blue states. But even though they have large urban areas, the blacks from the urban communities are not proportionally represented in the military. They tend to not go into the military as much as the national average. And those in the dark red and in the black, they are typically, those states typically have more, not only do they contribute more soldiers per capita, but also they obviously have more casualties per capita. And for that reason, they tend to be states where people are less trustful of the federal government. So let me move on. There's another chart here that I'd like to share. And that's this one, and we'll have another one after this. This is my new book, The Dreadful Frauds, which is Critical Race Theory and Identity Politics. It's $16 at Amazon, $6 for Kindle. If you want an autographed copy, it's $20 from me. Just email me, phil@_lee.com. And I will, Phil, PHIL_Lee, LEIGH @me.com. The two things I would emphasize about this book is that if critical race theory and identity politics become the standard interpretation of American history and American society, then all of our Confederate traditions are going to be minimized. In fact, there won't be any Confederate memorials. Even a name like Robert E. Lee will not stay in the name of Washington and Lee if these frauds become the standard interpretation, which I hope they won't. And I think we can stop this. This book will help you learn the facts you need to stop it and to reverse the trend. So now to return to our topic, fighting for America, let me share one more screen here, this one. As you can see from this chart, the per capita contributions of soldiers in the South have long been higher than in any other region of the country. During the 40 years from 1974 to 2014, the region's share of soldiers increased from 37% to 45%. During the Obama presidency, the military was directed to increase the so-called diversity in the services, to try and make the people, the composition of the people in the services look like the composition of people in the United States. So 13% Black, and I don't know, maybe 5% Jewish or less. And but in terms of an objective, this was one thing that Obama put in place. Now, sometime over the last 5 years, this has segued into a deliberate attempt to especially reduce the proportion of Southern whites that are recruited. And this has resulted in from this growing influence, which you could see very clearly during the discussions last summer with General Milley and Chief of and Secretary of Defense Austin before the congressional hearings. They were focused on things like diversity, equity, and inclusion, and anti-racism, and all that sort of stuff. White supremacy, all that sort of stuff. Consequently, this new feeling among the top brass led to an attempt to deliberately reduce the number of Southerners that are recruited, and cause Congress to direct that the military bases that are named for Confederate soldiers must be changed. And those changes will come in October, which is only 7 months from now. And of course, all Confederate symbols have to be taken out of any place in the military. But now that Americans are thinking more about their requirements for safety in a hostile world, they may soon give more attention to the makeup of our armed forces. If they want, let me just stop sharing here a second. If they want more combat soldiers, they may try to recruit more Southerners because of the region's natural propensity to volunteer. But if the services eradicate and demonize Confederate heritage, America may find the Southerners may not be so eager to join up. And that may be a consequence of telling the Southerners that, hey, don't urinate on their boots and call it rain. So that's our message for today. And I'll just leave it at that. And I look forward to seeing you soon.